Hunger of Crota is a legendary rocket launcher that you can only get by beating Crota on the Crota's End raid. It does solar damage and has tracking, which makes a lot of people wonder how well it compares to Gjallarhorn. Well, stick around and I'll let you know. So first, let's take a look at Hunger of Crota's upgrades. Now the first tree is kind of confusing because despite what these upgrades say, on the stats these upgrades just decrease its stability. So I just keep the first one, although it really doesn't matter because stability doesn't matter on rocket launchers. Now for our first perk, we've got tracking. Tracking is awesome and ideally it's what you want on every rocket launcher. First up in the second tree, we have quick draw, which allows us to draw this weapon very fast. This is nice for when you want to whip it out really quick. Yeah, moving on to the next upgrade, we have Javelin, which increases the velocity of the rockets. Basically, it makes them shoot faster and harder. And finally, we have Heavy Payload, which increases the blast radius. You know what? I'm gonna let you guys get to that one. So in this tree, you can pretty much just pick whichever sexual innuendo you want. Personally, I go with Heavy Payload as I think it makes the most difference. Finally, we have cluster bombs, which are a great source of extra damage, and they help to clear out mobs really well. I don't know about you, but one of the things I absolutely hate doing is missing rockets. I hate wasting heavy ammo with a passion. But with Hunger of Crota, you don't have to worry about that since its rockets are going to track your enemies. That alone makes this rocket launcher good and worth upgrading. But it gets even better since it has cluster bombs, which is great for taking out a big group of enemies. I like using this against the Vex because, you know, if you see those clouds form, you know that the Vex are going to spawn right there, so you can just whip this thing out and nuke that spawn. It's also pretty decent at damaging bosses, though I can't say it can dish out the same amount of damage that Gjallarhorn can because of the Wolfpack rounds, but cluster bombs are nice. Although the cluster bombs, they're kind of hit or miss, literally. Sometimes they'll hit your enemies and sometimes they'll just blow up around them. And the blast radius on the cluster bombs, they don't seem to be too good, honestly. I wish they were just a little bit more. Now another thing that Hunger of Crota has going for it is that it's just a legendary. It's not an exotic like Gjallarhorn, so of course you can equip another exotic weapon like Icebreaker or maybe Suros or whatever. So if you don't want to use Gjallarhorn and you're looking for a legendary rocket launcher, this is the best thing to use in PvE. Hunger of Crota tracks, it's got cluster bombs, and it's got sexual innuendos. Not much more you can ask from a legendary rocket launcher. This is the best Gjallarhorn replacement in the game in my opinion, and it performs well as a baby Gjallarhorn. In PvP, Hunger of Crota is great for getting the rocket launcher bounty because of its tracking, and once again it's legendary so you can use an exotic primary or special, and the cluster bombs can help you out in some situations. However, the ADS time isn't very good, so it will take some time to track your target. Overall, I think it's a solid rocket launcher for PvP, though it's not amazing. Hunger of Crota has everything you want in a rocket launcher except for Wolfpack rounds, which it can't have, but it does have cluster bombs, which can come in handy. When you take a look at Hunger of Crota, all you see are good things. It's got good velocity, it's got good blast radius, it's got good clip size, and it's got tracking. And as a bonus, it has those cluster bombs that I've been talking about. So if RNGesus blesses you with this weapon, I'd highly recommend upgrading this thing to the max. It's a very solid rocket launcher that will serve you well. And that brings us to the end of the review. If you did enjoy the video, it would mean a lot to me if you hit that like button. And if you're not feeling too shy, then drop a comment below and let me know what you think about Hunger of Crota. That's it for now. Overman out.